Hey, good morning, good evening. This is Niladri. Today we'll talk about an interesting topic on configuring Jira in such a way so that we can do our PI planning just on the vanilla Jira. No plugins, no advanced roadmap. We will be doing with just a standard editions with Jira where we'll be having something in Confluence and we'll look into that, how that's come up. This is actually came up when we do transformations for say for many corporate or enterprises. We realize that not everyone are using version 1 or rally or Jira align. They are very much into Jira and they wants to give it a try with Jira how safe is working for them, and gradually few of them move to the other tools once they grow up. But if you are a small enterprise and want to start with Jira and do your PI planning, this is what we can do. So what we will be doing is we'll first show you what exactly we have configured, how it is running, and then we'll talk about how we have configured that in the next step. So let's begin. As you can see in the screen, this is our program Kanban, where we have funnel analyzing, backlog, implementing, validating, deploying, and releasing. These are all these program Kanban we have. We have created few customizations, and as a result of that, whenever we will be creating a new items, we can create a epic that is typically your features. We'll treat that as a feature. We are not uh, relating this epic as our program level or w- we are not relating with our portfolio level epics, because in Jira it's having three levels of hierarchy. First epic, under that you may have stories, and under that you may have subtask. So let's treat this epic as an feature, and this one we can still do. And this epic you can change it to features from your Jira administration so that it will appear as an epic. I have not changed that. We'll quickly look into that. And once you have created this epic, you can create under it something called a compliance enabler, architecture enabler, exploration enabler, story, and infrastructure enabler. If you are using something different, then definitely you can customize that. And what we are assuming as of now, I'll just close this. We will be using 4 teams. You can have as many as teams under one project. We have 4 teams and the teams names are Galaxy, Maverick, Spartan, and Unicorn. And these are the Kanban board. I'll quickly show you all the other boards that we have. These are the team level boards. So if I look into the Galaxy's board, your Galaxy boards active sprint, this is our story workflow. I'll just quickly zoom in a bit so that it will be little readable. All right. If I look into the backlog, I already have created this Galaxy PI Sprint 1. This is PI 1 that we are doing for. So whenever you are starting this, you may need to have your RTE or someone who's a Jira admin for every PI. They just need to make a quick change or quick setup before you go for the PI planning. Over here, we have created all those PI over here. If I go into Maverick, I'll also having all those sprints created or the iterations that we call that is created, and the backlog is empty. If I look into the epics panel, the epic panel is also empty. So in the same way, I have all those teams board like Spartan's board and Unicorn board. We were at program Kanban. I'll just come back to program Kanban. And over here, there are multiple features. Few features are at funnel, few features are at analyzing. The name is feature, but though it's a type of epic over here. We will treat that as our feature. Whenever we are looking at this implementing, these are the top 9 we have picked up. Maximum we have defined that max 10 features will be working along with our this particular exercise. Now whatever we have in implementing state, if I go into, there is one board that we have created as a feature selection. So over here, these are all those top 20 that we have came up and all the teams names coming up as a column. I'll quickly show you. If I open this, I have this is created under. So for exercise purpose, we have created this. So what we have created for every epic, we have created a few stories and few, this is all compliance enabler, we have some architecture enabler, exploration enablers, all have came up. But as of now, these are not reflecting on any of these board. Over here, I can see 9 of them, but this will start appearing. For an example, in your program Kanban, you have selected one more story. For example, this is feature 2. I'll just quickly create something under it so that we can see. I am just creating user story 200, just two story 300. These are the two story I have just created under feature 2, and I will be moving that to first backlog. Let's assume it's going into the proper steps and it's following all of them. It reached to implementing. Now in implementing, I have 10 top 10 features. If I go into my feature selection board, I'll be having 10 items, and this feature 2 will also be start appearing somewhere over here. Feature 2, yeah, this is our feature 2. And if I just click on it, these are the two stories we have. Now let's assume that we have our, this is the two other boards that I also have opened over here so that we can quickly look into what they have in the backlog. This is my Galaxy team and this is my Mavericks team. So in Mavericks team, the backlog is also empty. So the moment I will move this to, for an example, Galaxy, this team, let's assume this is the feature selected by Galaxy. So the moment I'll do that, and if I refresh over here, I'll be able to see those all stories came up over here. So if I just expand it, you can see all the stories is came up to Galaxy, and the epic is also show up coming up over here. I can see the feature, this is feature 1 and this is mapped to Galaxy. All right. And similarly, if I move the another story to Galaxy, so this feature 7 also came up to Galaxy. I'll just quickly refresh this and see there will be one more feature come up over here. So now this is also came up feature 7, and all the stories now in the backlog of feature 7, and this is under Galaxy's team. So Galaxy's team, they have a specific board, and we have made some automation based on that. It's coming up directly over there. So what I'll be doing is I'll just putting few stories. For feature 3, I'll put it into unicorn. Feature 2, I will put it to unicorn. Feature 4, I'll be putting it to Spartan. Feature 5, I'm putting it to Spartan. Feature 6, I'm putting it to Maverick. Feature 9, I'll be putting it to Maverick. And feature 10, let's put this to. So this is a very high level planning. So once you do your PI planning, if you remember, we start with our business executive briefing, then architectural briefing, program management briefing, and after that, the product owner get discuss with your program management and select which team will be working on what features. And based on that selections, whatever the features I am selecting, the team will get automatically these features. So as of now, this is my Galaxy. If I go into my Mavericks team over here, as of now, I don't have anything because I have not refreshed. If I just refresh it, those items will be automatically came up. These are the epics we have planned for. Now the sprints is already over here, and all the teams, if I just duplicate this one and I'll change a different board over here. If I go into Spartan will be having their own backlog items that will be coming up over here. So this is all the Spartans, and these are the two features we have for Spartans. So all the teams, all the 4 teams, 5 teams, whatever the number of teams you have, you can configure it in such a way that the moment you move the feature into your program, from implementing to team selections, it will be come up over here, and all the associated stories will move to that particular team. Now the next thing is, at every team level we may need to define which story they will be planning for what iterations. So there are few ways of doing that. We are still not using any plugins. So within whatever we have, if I just go back and I'll just move this one over here so that we will be in one tab. So this is Maverick, this is Spartan, and I think I had one more. So that will also, I'll be moving it over here. So I have Maverick, Spartan, Galaxy, and I'll be creating one more board. I will not be creating, I'll just open that up, and that will be Unicorn, I believe. Yes. Yeah. So Unicorn, if you go into the backlog as of now, this is what we have, all the stories. Now, this is where we will be start planning on. And whenever this is now, the team will go back to their breakout session and they will start doing that 3 hours of breakout session. Over there, they will create their first draft plan. This is day one, they are exercising. And over here, if I wants to move some stories to my this particular PI, what they will be doing. As of now, you know that we do a capacity plan and define that our capacity is 30. So as of now in Jira, these editions, we don't have that options to define what the capacity of the sprint. Let's assume that is 30. So what the team will do, this is the first story they have, and they will be selecting these and they will do the planning poker and estimate. This is for an example of 5 story point, and in that way they may have estimated couple of them. So I'll just quickly estimate randomly. This is, I'm doing it fast so that you will be able to do it, the planning. All right, I'll just move couple of them quickly. I'm giving a bigger number so that we will able to fill the bracket first. All right, so I have estimated couple of them. I am not estimating, or let's do that estimation for all of them. This one I'm doing for Maverick. All right. So I have just estimated all of them. Now how you will be doing the planning, as we already see these are all the feature 6 and this is all the feature 7 or feature 9. When you will be working, your text will be very specific to the features you are working. Now every sprint, what you are able to see that I already have defined the sprint date, the based on our your PI, when it will be starting. Now you can see over here, this is a dots coming up, and once you start moving them, you can see the number of the dots are actually increasing. I'll do it once again. So as of now, this is what we have estimated as 18 story point. We need to do close to 30 or something. So over here, you can see whenever I'm moving it, it shows how many you are bringing it. So I have moved some stories to our iteration 1. Now I'll be moved to iteration 2, and I will start moving the stories up to 26, this one. Then I'll be closing this one. This, I'm doing it very fast, but in reality, it may take time. So I'll be going for this one. This is something little less, and I think this one is taking too much. So what I can see, this one actually, okay, this one is actually, I got it little more. So I'll move it to this print. I'll move it to this print so that I'll try to keep everything below 31, right? So I'll be trying to move it. This is 26 and this one come off 21. The later sprint, I'll keep little more buffer because don't have that visibility and there are possibilities that new stories will come up. So this is what I have planned on a very high level. Now, if I look into, I'm still at Mavericks team. Mavericks team is still doing their breakout session. And to have this view little visualize in a graphical way, Jira have a section called roadmap. So over this is what the roadmap you can see. Under this roadmap, these are all the stories, all these different PIs are coming up. This is your sprint 1, this is your sprint 2, this is your sprint 3, and this is your sprint 4. And these are the two features you are working on, feature 6 and feature 9. If I expand them, you can see based on whatever we have planned on what sprints, it's planned it accordingly. So I can quickly identify that, okay, where exactly these all the features is actually going up to over here. So feature 6, I can define feature 6 is starting over here, and you can expand that. I'll be bringing it somewhere over here. So this is your features plan that came up. Now the next feature, which was is actually seems like starting over here, and it is going up to this one. So this is your feature level planning. Now, sometimes if you want to change the color of this is actually coming from your epic color. So whatever the epic color is, this color will become accordingly. I'll quickly show you where you can change that. So if you are into epic, I'll change this one as yellow and this one is, for an example, green or something like this color, and go to my roadmap. I'll be able to see these are the two epics what we have, and you can actually define dependencies. I'll show you when we'll be looking into consolidations, multiple teams, if they plan it accordingly, and we'll look into in one board how that is coming up. Over here, this is all the stories they have, and this is a high level planning that you can see where exactly it goes to. At the same fashion, I will be making the changes for the other boards quickly, like this. All right, so the team have done their breakout sessions, and at the every team levels, if I look into what the team have planned on a detailed view, they will go into the backlog and they will see what they have planned on every iterations. This is all their iterations level planning, what iterations they have planned what, and a high level view, they can see, okay, this is all their feature level planning. This is where all these iterations are and how they are planned. So if I look into Galaxy, they have their plan ready, something like this. And if I look into this team, they have their plan ready according to whatever they have done on their breakout session. Now, this is the team level they have done, and that also has to be done at a epic level or the program level. So that will be you can do on the feature selection board, and over here if I look into this program roadmap, it will automatically come from what we have planned, and each program they have all those stories. Over here it's not showing, or it will not show the story level plan, but it will come up from the team levels. Over here, this is what exactly the team will do their dependency mapping. So at some point of time, one feature have some dependencies they can do right over here. This says, okay, I am depend on this story, so they can make a dependency like that. This story says, okay, I am actually having a dependencies with, so whatever, oops, sorry. Uh, you will need to put this dot, and then you can connect with the other one. So let's do it in this way. So if this is having a dependencies, this one is having a dependencies with as we are having um, so this is again we can see there are multiple dependencies. This is all the dependencies you can create with one feature to another feature. So I just need to drag this and drop on top of that. So this is your program board, and as you can see, this is all coming up. We are not showing that milestones. For that we need to do a little more customizations, how you can add something as a milestone. And over here you can see all the teams, those are having what features, that is coming up at their name as well. So it will be very easy for me to understand which team is actually having what dependencies. This is where you can map your program board. Once you have your program board, we can quickly look into what exactly your management wants to see. This is as not as good if you are doing with any tools like piplanning.io or Rally or Advanced Roadmap or Jira Align. But if you want to do with just Jira, you will be able to do this. We will be talk about something how you can do that in Advanced Roadmap, where we can see a little more details of this information, which is much more informative. But we can definitely work on these items. So this is a program board. We are not planning the story level planning, though I know what are the stories we have under this. That will help us to do some adjustment. Now at some point of time, if we wants to create a new story, maybe you have started your iterations and later you realize that there is one story needed to be created. So for an example, this is a galaxy. This is my feature one, and I have created one more story under this. So over here, I can create one more story under galaxy, and I can say I want to create a story that is user story 100. As of now, this is just a feature at a program Kanban, but it automatically detects that which team it should go to. Now it's coming into the feature one Galaxy user story 100 once again. And if I go back to the Galaxy's team now, that story will be in the backlog because that is not yet planned. And based on your current state of the calendar, you may have completed iteration 1 and 2. You are the best persons to plan it and move it over there. And that's how you will be doing your initial breakout session. Now when you do the breakout session, there is also an option that you create team PI objectives and risk boards. So if I look into every team, there are some pages we have created, and this is a team level pages. This will be coming from your Confluence. So over here, if I go into the team homepage, PI planning one, under that we have Galaxy, Team Spartan, and Team Maverick. So I'll just quickly show you the Team Galaxy. If I just open the Team Galaxies, what do they have? So this is where they will be adding. This is coming from the same team, and someone who have the edit rights, they can start adding their objectives over here. So they will be adding, for an example, I'm just giving objective one. The plan value and business value will leave it later. Objective 2, objective 3, in that way. And plan value, initially you don't need to do that. That will be coming on your second breakout session when the business will review and give some. So this is your team PI objectives, and if you have any uncommitted objectives, you can provide that. Uncommitted objectives and some more area. These are the roaming risk, what is resolved, what is owned. So I'll just have something as risk one. You can give your actual risk that you think you have. Risk one, risk three, and something like that. All right. And risk 5. So these are all the team level risk you have. So this is what you can plan and demonstrate. Once I'll publish, you will be able to see them. Okay, this is my team level objectives. It's the same way. I'm not adding the data, but you have the team Galaxy. You can look into that. You can go into the team Mavericks and you can look into what their team Mavericks have. All the data you can feed in. Each team, they will have access to their page, and they will be able to add it over here. But as a whole, as a program level, when you are consolidating as an RTE, you may need to have a consolidations at the program level. Over here, you can also see what is your dependencies looks like. So this is your dependencies. This one is you can actually look into the month view, how exactly that's come up, and you can also look into quarter view. This is if you are planning multiple quarters, you can see how the dependencies, whatever you have defined, this will come up over here. And also you can define what are the program PI objectives you have. So you just need to click on edit and you will start able to change that. What are the uncommitted objectives if you have? Then what are the program risk in resolve state? And from here also you can navigate to the team level details. So that's a very high level of what you have planned over here. And once you will come into any team page, you can navigate directly from here. We don't need to go anywhere. This is my teams related page, and all these PI level objectives for PI1, we can construct it in this way. All right, I think this is a very high level of their high level of PI planning. You can do this, or but for that you need lots of customizations from an administrator point of view, and we'll explain what are the key customizations that I have done. You may need to do something more based on your exact need. Normally we do, whenever we do a Jira transformations for any enterprise or corporate they are going into save, we start with this basic format and then we add on based on the lesson learned, and we mature up our Jira. Later, sometimes you may realize I need to go for a little more. You can go for advanced roadmap. Then you may find out, okay, we may need to go to Jira Align or something else. So we'll quickly talk about the administrations, what we need to do. So first thing, what I have done, I created 4 teams as a one custom field, and I'll just quickly show you the customizations, what I have done. So once you will start your active sprint, you will able to see uh, this is my workflow of our stories, because this is my teams board. This workflow is totally different, and we have created a couple of workflows. So let me show you what are the customizations I have done. So I'll go into little administration. So if you know how to do administrations, it will be good for you. So I have created few custom fields. So I'll start with the custom fields, and these are something called I have created as safe team. So this is one safe team that I have created. This is a radio button, and if I look into the options, these are the options that I have created. Sorry, I need to go for the other options. And if I look into the context and default value, you will be able to see these are the Unicorn, Galaxy, Spartans, Mavericks, and unassigned. This is what I have created, and I have put it into a specific scheme and attached to our that particular project. Now, issue types, I have created couple of issue types, primarily the enablers. So these are all the architecture enabler, compliance enabler, exploration enabler, infrastructure enabler, and yeah, these are the 4. Those 2 are used for something else. And you can see these are the default scheme that we have used, and this is the issue types we have created and mapped with that. If I look into the screens, as of now, we have not made any changes to the screen. You can create any fields, any values that you want to visualize. That definitely we can do, but that is not the goal over here. We want to see how we can implement the flow of PI planning activities. I will be coming up with some other videos to talk about how we can set up multiple compliance within Jira, but let's focus into this one now. I have created couple of workflows, and these workflows, let's look into this. One is a program Kanban. So if I quickly view this workflow, this is the workflow I have created. Now in this workflow also, I have not created any transitions. So there is no transitions I have created, like post functions or validators or conditions that can also be done. As you can see, interestingly, these four parts are part of my uh, s- mm, this whenever it's come to implementation, this four team also came up as a workflow states that helps me to do this whenever I was actually working on your feature selections. This one was able to help me do that, and on top of that, on transitions I have set up couple of automations that was helping me. And from there, these are the epic level, and from there the next steps what you can do in your, from everywhere you can move it to the next steps that can go directly from the team or coming back to implementation, or you can coming up as one more status called implemented, and you can put it there as implemented. So that's one step. This is the workflow, one workflow that we have. This is our workflow for the program Kanban, including the team selections. And if I look into the story level workflow, that is what I have. Save user story flow. If I click on view, this is my story flow we have. So these are a very high level customizations that we have done. We have created this workflow and assigned to them. There is no field configurations I have changed, no screen I have created, only the workflows, custom field and the issue types. Along with that, one important area that we have done is created couple of automations. That is a key of having all those in the background. So what I am doing, the automations I have created. So over here, these are the automations I have created. So this one, Epic moving back to implementing, what does that mean? What will happen? I'll just show you on that particular board. So whenever the Epic will come back to implementing, that time the stories was moved to Galaxy's team or assigned to Galaxy's team, it will come back to implementing. I have changed all those board have a little filter criteria that I have changed. So filter criteria, you can see it's little complex though, but the idea over here is in this particular board, I wanted to have only the epics or features, those are in implementing step. Now, whenever in the automation step, if you can look into where is that automation window gone? So whenever Epic moving to Galaxy, so if it is in implementing step, moving to Galaxy, I am moving all the stories for that particular Epic to Galaxy's team. So internally, it's not moving from any place to another place. I'm just assigning the value, the team from unassigned to Galaxy. And similarly, we will be having for Maverick, Spartan, and Unicorn, and it will be coming back to that. Now there is team assignment for new story. So for an example, Epic is already in Maverick. When I'm creating a new story, this automation is moving to that team. These are the very minimal automations. So normally when we do safe transformations, there are huge number of automation we use to create based on that particular client's exact need. So if you try to work on that, you may start with this and bring up your new automations. And there are a huge range of automation Jira supports. That's a very high level of how you can configure PI planning set up in just Jira without using any premium editions, just in standard Jira editions, or without using any plugin. I believe this will help your need. If you have any questions or do you have any need of your transformation, feel free to contact us. This is our email ID, this is our phone number, and we'll happy to help you out. Till that time, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.